Okay, that was fun. My power blinked. I'm so glad that I bought a box that would keep my power going no matter what. And my computer is plugged into that box, which clearly didn't work. And
Well, in
uh,
Feldenkrais, we do have pauses.
we do have pauses, yes. So we had a pause. That was a pause. And maybe you'll still come back to us, even though it's a little confusing. Um, so I'm just going to pick up with maybe something more. I know you were in the middle of talking, but I don't feel like we can really go back and capture that
No, no, no.
exactly.
And I don't
So,
even remember where we
yeah,
got
yeah.
cut off.
So I want to talk about something more practical, which is the Move Better, Feel Better Summit, which is not summit, but 5-day challenge. So I got myself a little confused there from May 6th through 10th. And it's a challenge because you can do it for every day for 5 days, and we hope that you will. But here's the cool thing for people that are struggling around with their own health, injury, pain, or they're an adventuresome, bigger mover. They love the challenge. Is we have two different tracks for you. And one track is, we call it the beginner track, but we also suggest that anyone who's got an injury or pain or any kind of concern where you think, I don't know if I really know how to move well enough for this, which we can talk about in the future maybe, you would sign up for the beginner track. And then we have a second track, which we call experienced, or you define yourself as adventuresome, which really means that you're pretty doggone healthy and you don't need to be concerned so much about whether you might hurt yourself. Can you talk a little bit about the range that we are going to cover in the summit? How will we help somebody who has a lot of challenges, Erifily, as because we've been getting a lot of emails, somebody who said they can't, they don't see. We get another email that the person can't use one of their arms, so they're wanting to know if they can do the movements, and some people that need to be sitting and blah. There's so many different ways of being human, isn't there?
It is.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I liked about this idea of organizing the challenge with the two different groups. And yeah, we called them beginners, but really the idea was to be inclusive and to find teachers who would be able to teach a lesson, not just as if they have a room full of people, but have in mind that we're online, they might not be seeing everyone, and also not everyone will be able to follow in the same rhythm. Perhaps someone has an injury or a condition where they cannot get down on the floor. Many of our lessons in Feldenkrais are done on a hard floor, so you can feel the feedback for the floor. We will have in the beginners section, we will have someone showing how it can be done on a chair, the same lesson on a chair. So we're going to try and be as inclusive as possible in our wording, in the idea that we will have, although we do not demonstrate in Feldenkrais, we will have people that you will be able to see. So, sometimes you get absent-minded or you didn't hear what was said. You can take a peek. We do that in real classes anyway. We do that in our training. Sometimes you feel so much, you get so much into yourself that you don't remember what the next thing was that was said. So you kind of open your eye and peek around. So those models will be there. They're not there so you can copy the movement, but they will be there to suggest how it can be done in a different way. And also you have to have something to pick at in case your line drops or you fall asleep. That happens in Feldenkrais too sometimes when we relax too much.
Yeah, and I mean, if we were in a real class, we would get to sneak a peek, right? We would look
Mhm.
around and go, what is everybody else doing? And I mean, it is pretty interesting when you're in a real class and you look around and you go, hold it, like, there's like a lot of different things going on in here. And that's one of the lovely things actually about the Feldenkrais work, is that it's really helping you to find your own way through your own interpretation and understanding. So that's why we don't really exactly have models, but we will have a couple of people, as Erifily said, that'll be demonstrating their interpretation of the work and doing that either in a chair or on the floor. But here I want to say about people that can lie down but can't get up and down easily from the floor. you can do it on a firm surface like a bed, a massage table. You do not have to be literally thinking about it being on the floor. So you can do it. And it's a little harder on a sofa usually because there's not enough room left to write. But some of the lessons, actually, one that you're teaching, I think, Erifily, even could be done on a sofa.
Mhm.
So what day are you teaching again, Erifily?
I'm teaching on May 9th, and I'm teaching a class called Oscillations, which is basically a very nice vibratory movement that's very relaxing for the body. And yeah, unfortunately, this is the single one lesson that we're not able to interpret for someone in sitting.
It would be hard to do in sitting, but I think that it might be by that time that some people who aren't able to sit will feel like with a little bit of extra propping and padding, they could lie on their sofa and do it, or lie on their bed and do it. So I think I love that. I'm going to love that day. I hope I get to do the lessons. I know I'm supposed to be working while I'm, on with everybody, but maybe I'll get to do some of the lesson because that's a beautiful set of lessons that's going to happen that day.
Well,
And then
we're lucky if we can do all the lessons. We will have the replays.
you will have the replays. That's right. That's right. I will have no excuse. Thank you for pulling that out for me. I will have no excuse but to complete the challenge. Thank you. Thank you for that with reframe. I will actually be able to complete the challenge because of that. I do like doing it with people though too. But and then for the professional track, those of you who are somehow in the field of rehab, medicine, movement, personal training, wellness, however you define that, we do have a special program for you all. And I encourage you to take advantage of that because it includes a discussion at the end of the day called Somatic Applications. And it will be a lively discussion between the participants, myself, and one of the teachers from that day about how Feldenkrais principle from the day that we're going to examine, or items from the actual lessons taught that day. What kind of applications do they have in the real world of movement, where you're trying to help somebody get to a better performance, or you're trying to help somebody overcome an injury, or you're trying to help someone recover from a stroke, or whatever range. Maybe you work with people who've had trauma in their background or are very anxious or stressed. We'll be able to talk about those kinds of applications. So I'm very excited about it. I'm sorry that our first one of these for the next few days kind of got chopped up, but hopefully you'll grab both parts. There was a part 1, and now there's a part 2. And it's the Move Better, Feel Better 5-day challenge happening May 6th through 10th. And check your comments on where you can register, or you can send email to support@futurelifenow.com, support@futurelifenow.com, and get some help. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Erifily.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.